On our hunt of exotic cars, we came across of something that you don't see every day on the roads of the UK, and you might like it. It's Peter's Corvette. This is absolutely awesome. Tell me a bit about this car. When is it from? Where did you find it? How did you even decide to get one?
I was looking for a classic car about 4.5 years ago. I've always had a classic car, and I was in between cars, and I've been looking at various other marques, Porsche, Aston Martin, and my wife said to me one day, why don't you have a look at maybe a Corvette? I guess pretty much the same as everybody else would think. What? A Corvette? Left-hand drive? Isn't that thirsty? They don't handle. And I did a bit of research into it, and one of the reasons why I actually went for this is because there's a few myths that I thought were worth busting, and one of them was actually it's quite economical for a big car and such a large engine.
What engine is it?
It's a 5.7 litre V8.
That can't be economical.
I get about 35 to a gallon out of it.
What? It's starting to rain now because we are in the UK. Peter is closing the roof and he's gonna take me for a little ride.
Put your shoulder in the way to hold the
Oh, it's just working out.
Yeah, it's more like a harness than a seatbelt.
This is quite unique. It has a reel here, but it also has a reel here. You don't see that. I've never seen that before. Let's have a taster. It's
lively.
It's lively. It's I don't know, it feels almost docile though.
Yeah, it's like a pussycat in town, and then it can be another animal on the open road. It's definitely a car with a personality complex. I won't tell you how fast that was.
40 was it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought it was 40. So what's the feeling? Tell me what it's like there.
It's comfortable. I think it's also, it can be firm. It's in sport mode at the moment.
Does it make it stiffer?
Yeah, this old adage where sports cars only have two settings, hard and harder.
Hard and harder.
Whereas this isn't too bad. I've driven worse. It feels compliant.
It doesn't feel too harsh. It's not making me feel uncomfortable at all.
No, and I think the driving position, it's your classic straight leg, straight arm position.
Yeah, it's quite deep, isn't it, in the footwell?
There's plenty of leg room.
It goes a long way.
Yeah, there's plenty of leg room.
Does it feel like, does it feel, what is it, 20
years old?
20 years old? So do you feel that? And if so, in what?
That's a good point. It doesn't feel, the brakes are astonishing, I've got to say. It's not so much the diameter or how many pots the brake calipers are, and you can see the reactions.
Yeah, look at people watching.
Right now. Yeah, sometimes you get people just stopping and staring as you drive past them.
I'm not surprised. You don't see one of these every day.
No, you don't. And that's part of the appeal, I guess. It's that quirky. But then again, yeah, what sacrifice? I think as long as you've got a comfortable, regular car that's well engineered.
Are you saying that you can't use this every day?
I could if I wanted to. I've seen a few people use a Corvette as their daily driver. Admittedly, they're mostly in America.
It's not really designed to be a tourer only. It's manufactured as to
be a bit more purposeful.
A bit of a race car, but to a point.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. The thing with sports cars is they're generally stripped out. They're quite bare, very Spartan in ride, as well as having an air of unsophistication about it. Some people think these are generally ugly and a bit obtrusive, but there's a gracefulness about this style that I think is very eloquent in its execution.
I love how you see the light sticking out, you know, the like fins.
They're good pointers as well for pointing into the curbs.
Yeah, absolutely. It shows really where you're going. I've got a similar thing on the RX-8. I love the fact that it's got wheel arches.
Yeah.
It kind of frames the road.
Yeah.
And this frames the lane even better. From that time that you took it on track, what's your highest speed you've experienced on it?
140 mile an hour.
140. I see the speedo goes up to 200. It wasn't very much modified when you got it.
No, really. I did a few tasteful modifications to it. So I put the original filter box back in and fit a K&N instead, and did a few tweaks here and there. But otherwise, the engine itself is pretty standard.
It looks immaculate.
It's not bad, is it, for its age?
There's no oil, there's nothing.
Exactly.
Did you get it like thoroughly cleaned, or did it come like this?
I did it myself.
Just
a
bit of patience?
Yeah, bit of patience. Paintbrush. At the time it was, I think I used gunk. It was dusty rather than dirty and oily.
Yeah.
And you're right, there's a few myths about it. Again, the handling, you can see how far back the engine's set from behind the front wheels and into the cab. The weight distribution is approximately 51% front and 49%
no
rear.
way.
Yeah.
Surely not with that.
I know.
How?
The gearbox is in the back.
And
there's a transaxle system, and there's what's known as a torque tube then, runs directly from the crank all the way back.
Interesting.
It is quite interesting, and it's quite flat. Yeah, I've got a lowering kit for the suspension as well, but I don't think I need it.
Was that a mistake? Oh, you haven't fitted it yet?
I haven't fitted it yet.
So you were thinking of going lower than this?
I was thinking of going lower than this. It handles very well, considering.
What you compare it against to say that?
Dare I say Lotus. I've owned a couple of Lotus Esprits in the past.
Okay.
It handles very well. It's not as good as a rear engine car, it never will be, but it's a GT car, and if you think of it as a GT car, it's comfortable, it's meant for long distance. And I travel down all the way from West Wales every week, not every week in this, but it'll eat up the miles with ease.
To me that sounds insane. The fact that you would drive from Wales to here with this as a commuter. I mean, I do the same with an RX-8, and that, you know, I do 15 miles per gallon when I'm lucky. No, that's not true, 19. How you get 35 out of this blows my mind.
Yeah.
Convertible. Look at this. Finish. And it's red. This is lunatic. Surely your wife went like, that's a step too far.
It did take a bit of persuading, but the C5 convertibles are quite rare, and apparently, according to the Corvette website, there's only 13 convertibles registered in the UK at the moment.
I suppose it's not a car for B roads.
No.
So you don't need that extra seeing around the corner that you would with those type of cars.
It's not the sort of thing you throw into a corner or take it for a track day, although you could take it for a track day. Maybe you want to take it for a sprint and try it a Santa Pod maybe and see how fast it'll do in a straight line. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's more than capable of that.
It's a car that does decent consumption, well, decent for the engine size and the power delivery and the weight probably.
Yeah,
it's not the lightest car, I don't think.
It isn't.
Definitely flashy. Do you not get annoyed by the looks?
No.
You enjoy that?
I wouldn't say enjoy it. Sometimes the reactions are different, but sometimes you get people nodding at you and the thumbs up.
Oh, nice.
It's fun.
A bit of acknowledgement for the effort of living with it.
Yeah,
is it effort to live with it?
I wouldn't say so. I mean, you've got to be careful. If there's parts that you need, you've got to be patient and think, you know, you're not going to get off the shelf in Halfords. You're going to have to go to a specialist main dealer.
Yeah.
I just wanted something that was fairly well engineered, hence, you know, looking at Porsche, maybe Aston Martin, maybe another Jaguar, and I thought, well, this is a nice alternative, and it's a bit quirky and it's different, and I like quirky and different. It's fun as well.
It's so American.
It is so American.
It's so American.
Yeah.
In the good way. And you were telling me this is the what?
They call that the Waterfall.
I love it. I think it's this white
black
beam,
and red.
center beam that then turns into black and it becomes the dash is the design feature of the interior. For me, is how they go around corners.
Yeah.
But this is not its priority.
Absolutely. It's not its priority, but it does handle well round corners.
What kind of corners are we talking about?
Are we talking roundabouts? I could.
But what about
Long
you
bends.
come from Wales.
Yeah.
Have you ever taken it to Snowdon area?
Not yet.
How would it do?
I'm guessing it wouldn't do too bad. I did take it round the Gower Peninsula once. There's a lot of country lanes. It wasn't the best place to take it.
To wrap this up, Peter, what do you think? How long are you going to keep it?
That's a good question. If I ever sold this, it would probably be because I buy another Corvette.
Do you think?
I think I would, yeah. I think a C6
You sold for Corvettes?
Maybe. There's the model after this, the C6, actually comes with a flappy paddle gear stick and everything. And you think that shouldn't be existing on a car of that age either. You pay for what you get. This has appreciated twice in value since I bought it in 2 years, and they're increasing 10% a year after that.
So you're going to sell it for more?
They will sell for more.
I've chosen the wrong car. I should not have an RX-8. What was I thinking? I like it. Thank you so much for the ride. Thanks for the chat.
Pleasure's all mine.
And enjoy your, how many miles back?
210.
What, you driving 210 miles now?
Right now.
Holy crap. Well, at least you got the Corvette, you know.
I've got just over half a tank of fuel.
Can you make it there?
And I'll make it there, easily.
Thanks, Peter.
Pleasure's all mine.
Great time. Loved it.